Hello there friend, good morning and welcome to this morning yoga practice. My name is Katie and today we're doing a nice deep stretch. You don't need any props or equipment, but it is nice to have a yoga block or a cushion nearby, especially when we're sitting on the mat. So if you're ready, let's get started. We'll just come into a seat on the mat, whatever way is most comfortable for you. You can close your eyes here. Lengthen up your spine as much as you can. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. And just start to take a few really deep breaths. Thanking yourself for showing up this morning and for making it onto your yoga mat. No matter what happens now for the rest of the day, at least you're taking this time now to do some good for yourself. Take a nice big breath in here. Exhale, let it all out. You can start to open your eyes again and we'll begin our practice today in child's pose. So you can come into whichever version works best for you. If you want to target your lower back, keep your knees together. But if you want to take that stretch into your hips, take your knees out wide apart. Your hands might reach towards the front of your mat here, or they can come back to rest next to your feet. And maybe your forehead will come to meet the mat here. If not, you can always just take your hands and make a little platform for your forehead. So we'll give ourselves a few moments here in child's pose just to get a nice deep stretch. Your only job here is to let gravity and your breath do the work. Observing as your body starts to open up a bit more, and it might start to present to you some pockets that need breath. So just send your breath deep down wherever it's needed. If your hands aren't already at the front of the mat, you can bring them there. Use the breath in now to pull yourself up, and we'll come into tabletop pose. So spread your fingers wide apart, have your wrists below your shoulders and your knees below your hips. Push yourself away from the floor here, and we'll do a few rounds of cat and cow. So a really great pose for your hips and your lower back. As you breathe in, point your tailbone up, drop your belly towards the mat, bring your chest forward and look up. As you exhale, tailbone points down, round your spine, tuck your chin towards your chest and drop your head towards the mat. Inhale takes you back up, finding your cow pose. And as you exhale, round it down, coming into cat. And it might feel good just to pause at one point here. Do whatever you need to do. You can stay with the cat-cows, or you might bring your hips over to one side and then look back over your shoulder on the same side. And then hips to other side, look back over that shoulder. So probably feeling quite stiff in the morning. So just take your time here, play a little bit and just try to get yourself loosened up. We'll walk our hands towards the front of the mat now, curl your toes, and then drag your hips up and back, coming into downward dog. So again here, do what you need to do. You might paddle out the feet, sway your hips from side to side, just waking up the body here this morning. With time, aim to point your tailbone up towards the sky, releasing your head towards the earth. So you find an upside down V shape. You can always have your knees bent here. The more you push yourself away from your hands, the more you can stretch through your spine. Take a long breath in, and as you exhale, walk your feet towards your hands. We'll make our way into a standing forward fold here. Feet can be about hip distance apart here. Keep as much of a bend in your knees as you need to. Hands can hang low or they can grab opposite elbows. And then we'll just allow the head to become heavy here. Allowing the spine to decompress now, we'll just hang for a few moments. And this pose is especially good for your lower back. Probably feeling it a little bit in the hamstrings too, but loosening up your hamstrings is definitely going to take some of that pressure off the hips and the lower back. So just keep sending your breath down wherever it's needed. Now we'll start to bring our chin towards the chest, and just one vertebrae at a time, as slowly as you can roll yourself up. So eventually we come to stand on the mat. So from here we'll come into extended triangle pose. Keep your right toes pointed towards the front of your mat. Step back with your left foot and have your left foot parallel to the back of your mat. Your right leg is straight without bending your knee, and then bring your arms out wide left to right. We'll start to glide forward as if we want to touch the wall that's in front of us, and then with an exhale, drop your right hand down towards your right shin, reach your left hand up towards the sky, and if you can, maybe look up at that left thumb. So we're going to stay here for a few breaths. This is the ultimate pose to stretch out your back and open up your hips. And then a little bonus point is we get our shoulders opened up as well. So we want to try to keep our back as straight as we can. If you think you're rounding here, just lift your right hand up along your right leg so you can keep your spine straight. Few more big breaths here, really feeling that lower back. Send your breath to it. And imagine you're trying to touch the sky and the ground at the same time. We'll use our next inhale to slowly bring us back up, and with an exhale you can drop your hands back down. Let's take it to the other side just by switching the feet. So now your right foot is parallel to the short edge of your mat, your left toes point towards your left. Left leg is straight without locking the knee, arms come out wide, glide forward over your left leg, and with a breath out, release your left hand down towards your left shin. Look up at your right thumb if you can. Back is long and straight here. We're reaching towards the sky and the earth. Take one more big breath in here. When you're ready, you can start to reverse out of the pose and then exhale to drop the hands back down. Now we're pointing our left foot in slightly, so it's on a 45-degree angle. The right toes point towards the front of the mat. Now bend your front knee over your front ankle. We're pressing into the outer edge of this left foot, so you can adjust it until it feels good for you. Bring your right forearm onto your right thigh. Now your left arm is going to reach out towards the top of your mat. You might imagine that your left bicep is glued to your ear here. Look up at that left thumb if you can, and just create a really long line all the way from the back of your left foot up to your left fingertips. Front knee is still over front ankle. We're just taking a few breaths here. Again, another great way to open up our hips, and you're probably feeling that stretch in your lower back. Next inhale now can bring you back up. We'll just switch our feet. So now your right toes are turned slightly in and your left toes point towards the short edge of your mat. Front knee comes over front ankle. Adjust your feet until you're at a place where you can balance. Left forearm to left leg, and now reach your right arm all the way to the right, gluing bicep to ear and maybe gazing up at your right thumb. Strong, stretchy line here all the way from your fingertips to the outer edge of your back foot. Keep focused on your breath and on your sensations. When you're ready, you can start to reverse back out of your pose, making your way back to stand on your mat. You might heel toe your feet back close together, maybe till they're about hip distance apart. We'll make our way into mountain pose here, so nice and simple. We're just going to stand on the mat. Take a moment to press into all 8 corners of your feet here. Point your tailbone down towards your mat, and then lengthen the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. Palms might face forward with your arms alongside your body. Close your eyes here and just take a moment. Find your breath again. And just notice how this feels for your body. Now inhaling, you can start to open your eyes, sweep your hands all the way up over your head, and then interlock your fingers facing your palms up towards the sky. Gently pushing your hands up here as you keep your tailbone pointed down. We're stretching all through our back here, helping to take out some of the tension from the lower back. You can close your eyes here and just notice how this makes your body feel. With control now, as you exhale, start to bring those hands back down. Widen your feet a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And we're going to make our way into a yogi squat here. So you might bring your palms together at your chest, take a breath in, and as you exhale, bend your knees, bringing your tailbone down towards your mat, and maybe pressing your elbows against your knees here. So just do whatever you can do. Remember, it's not about how it looks, we're focusing on how it feels. And you can always take cushions or yoga blocks to sit on here. So not hanging out here for too long, we're just going to take a few long breaths in and out. Keep your spine nice and straight. Now, when you're ready, you might just take your hands back onto the mat and just bring yourself back down into a seat. You can have the soles of your feet together here and we'll come into cobbler's pose. So we've made a big diamond shape with the legs. Hands can just rest maybe on the feet or wherever they naturally come to. Take a moment to lengthen up through your back. And then as you exhale, we'll fold forward at the hips, maybe bringing the nose down towards the feet here. So we're just going to stay here letting gravity do the work. You can support your knees here with cushions or yoga blocks. And you can also sit up on a cushion or yoga block if that will support you a little bit more. Bring your awareness to whatever sensations you're feeling. And just let your breath loosen up whatever tightness you have found within your hips, within your lower back. Let's take a breath in now to bring ourselves back up, spine nice and long again. You can take your knees in beside each other and now sit with your legs out long in front of you. You might want to shake them off a bit here. Then when you're ready, take your right foot all the way over beside your left hip, coming into a half shoelace. So the knees are relatively stacked on top of each other here. You can keep your spine long, sitting up on your mat like this. That's definitely going to help out your hips. If you want to take the stretch up into your lower back as well, on an exhale, you can start to hinge, folding forward, walking your hands away from you, and then maybe dropping your nose towards that top knee. Use your next breath in to push yourself up away from the floor. From here we'll come into a twist. So we're taking the right hand in behind the tailbone, as close to it as you can get it, and your right arm props up your spine here. Left arm then can come to the outside of this right thigh. Inhale to lengthen up through your back, And as you exhale, you can start to slowly rotate, first from your waist, then your rib cage, and then your neck, maybe looking back behind you. A few breaths here just to wring out any tension from your back. Coming back to center now. You can undo that right leg, send it away, shake them out if you need to. And now the left foot can come over to the outside of the right thigh, setting ourselves up for half shoelace on this side. Again, stay here with your spine nice and tall if you have to, or if you can, you might start to fold forward, dropping nose towards knee. Next breath in now can press you up away from the floor. Left hand in behind your tailbone, arm is like a pillar propping up your back. Bring your right arm to the outside of your left thigh now and very slowly start to rotate until maybe you're looking back over your left shoulder. Each inhale lengthens, each exhale helps you twist a little bit deeper. Now starting to come back, undo everything, shake out your legs. And then you can come into your most comfortable way to sit on your mat. And we'll end our practice as we started. So once you're comfortable, you might bring your palms together at your chest, close your eyes and bow your head towards your heart. Take a few full breaths in, long breaths out to get rid of any tension or stiffness that you don't want to bring with you today. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed this deep stretch for the hips and the lower back. If you did, you can just leave a thumbs up below. I would really appreciate that. And if you want to continue with this flexibility work, I would definitely recommend checking out this playlist. It has a program that you can follow to create more flexibility within the full body. And I have lots more routines for the hips and the lower back as well. So if you ever want to come back and stretch out those areas, they'll always be there for you. Have a great day. I hope to see you soon, but until then, goodbye.